everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own bag. So a customizable bag with an easy pattern. It's also really great for beginners. So if you're new to sewing and you're not really sure how to do it, this would be a great project to try it out on. So I have a really nice fabric with a nice pattern as well, and I'm going to show you a really simple way how you can do something like this at home and by yourself. So grab something you think is going to look good, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. Stay tuned. So first, choose some sturdier non-stretch fabric. So anything you personally prefer or find pretty. Then a safety pin, also some scissors and regular pins, as well as something to measure with. So I decided to start by giving you a measurement. So this is of course customizable, but I recommend beginners do the exact size I'm doing. So this is 43 times 50 centimeters, and then you will also need the side pieces. So this might make it a bit more complicated, but it'll look so much better. So 15 times 50 centimeters, the two sizes, so the height from the main piece and then the width that you would want to get in the end. You could also need your handles, so you can do them out of the same type of fabric. For that, I chose 10 centimeters times 50 centimeters. Handles come first, so let's fold it pretty side on pretty side. And align nicely, pin together, and do a stitch along from the top all the way to the bottom to the other side. And take care you leave the opening so that you can turn it inside out. And do the same with the other handle piece. Now take your safety pin, push through the one end, and use it to ease the turning. Now you can align the stitch on the mid-bottom side like this, so that you can't see that when you wear your bag. So you can iron over it, or you can do it by hand like this, and then we will do the big piece. Okay, so here we are. So let's lay them pretty side on pretty side, and if you have a specific direction of your fabric, make sure to take care about that as well. And now we're just gonna do this bottom stitch here. So along here, along the edge. All the way to the other side. Now put the pieces like this and go with your finger in between the leftover bits of fabric on the other side of the stitch. It's easy to do with your fingers, but an iron would work as well. Now let's do the side pieces. So take one first. And see that you fold it like this. And again, align it here with the bottom stitch. you can open it up, and I would recommend making sure it's exactly in the middle of this stitch. So right here, so exactly onto this stitch, and then I would pin together. And do the same on the other side. So now you can either do the bottom of the bag, so just the smaller side. So this little side here, or you can do, or not go to this end all the way, but just to the point of it instead. So when I say point, I mean here. So then you align your big piece and sew it simultaneously. If you're unsure, you can do just one instead of two at the same time, but this would also be an option. So just do a corner here basically. I'll do this simultaneously, so at the same time, but you can first do the smaller side, and when you're done with that, afterwards you can switch to the longer one. It could be that you have to pin a lot, but it'll help you stay precise. Okay, so I pinned all of the sides and I'll show you. So here, the front section, here you gotta make sure you don't begin here, but where your stitch is so that you can align those nicely. So take care as well that you put it pretty side on pretty side, so you want it looking away from you. Here I pinned it this way around the corner. Might be a bit tricky, but it's gonna yield a really great result. So take your time, make sure you're precise, and it's gonna be great. And then here I also pinned it to the other side. Other side I did the same way. So this is what you should have, and now you can maybe notice that the side pieces seem a bit longer than the main pieces. So you might see a little bit longer leftover piece. This is normal, so the length like this is what we get as a result. So this happens because we did the corner section here on the bottom like this. But don't worry, just leave it as it is, and later we can just cut it off if it's not ending up equally long. So now you can turn your bag inside out and you'll get something like this. And now you can strengthen it with some inside fabric, but in my case, I will leave it as it is. So you see how lovely the corners turned out, and the bottom as well, and the sides here. So I turned this inside out, but you could fix the leftover fabric on the inside before you do this. So just separate the little bits and iron over them and do it with your fingers, but you don't have to do that unless you want to. So now all that is left, if you want to do an inside fabric, in that case you'd simply just repeat all of the steps that we did for the outside fabric. So basically make another, well, let's say another bag out of a different type of fabric. So by that I mean the front side and the back, as well as the side pieces that we did already. And then you should have two pieces. So you would take the inside piece, sew the bag out of the inside fabric of your choice with its pretty side and side, and you'll basically pull it over the outside piece. and then connect the edges together. Of course, you'd leave a little opening so that you can turn it inside out, and that would be pretty much it. But anyway, what I want to do is a nice edge stitch where my opening is. So I'll fold the fabric 2 times like this. Also, you can pin if you want it to stay in place and if it makes you feel more secure when you work. Then afterwards you would sew a straight stitch along the edge. Now you connect your handles and then you're done. So you can decide how you want to do them. Maybe you want to do them from the outside or from the inside. So that's really up to you. And then here I fixed it by hand so that it doesn't fray. So this would be optional as well. Anyway, this is what I did with the handles and what my top section looks like in the end. And the distance of the handle ends you can also pick out according to your own taste. In my case, I aligned the 2 sides so that it's symmetrical as well. So yeah, just make sure it looks nice. And in my case, I pinned it as well. And now I'll sew here and secure it as well by doing a square so that it stays in place. And you can even do an additional cross so that it's secure on there and doesn't rip. And that's it. I hope you can see the stitches nicely on here now. So this is going to make them stable and secure on here. So even if you have a bit of weight that you're going to carry in your bag, it should stay that way and it shouldn't be ripping or doing something you're not planning it on doing. Also, I forgot to mention that you should do the handles before you do an inside layer or fabric in case you're choosing to do that step as well. So handles would go before that, simply out of the reason because you won't be able to reach the inside otherwise, since you're turning it inside out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think. You can also shoot a thumbs up if you enjoyed the project, and if you would like to see more, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, and that way you'll be notified every time we post something new. It's also completely for free, so if you're interested in content that we're gonna be posting, make sure you stay tuned. Thanks for watching DIY Ideas. I'll see you in one of our next projects, and until then, I wish you a wonderful day. Bye!